this is the exact value you're gonna get from this video. I'm gonna show you how I was feeling really overwhelmed. I had many mental blocks, I was paralyzed. I wanted to make progress in many things, but I couldn't. How I turned that and used my system of detachment to find the best possible action that I could take, do it, use then my systems of creating systems to get a better understanding of how I make progress in general and how I can start progressing. As you see over here, I've already got some steps, and that is part 1 of the video. Part 2 is where I speak about more personal and raw stuff. I just document my day 101 of Spacewise, and you will see some time lapses of me working, what I eat, just my thoughts in general, what I'm struggling with, and etc. Now, why should you listen to me? Well, I'm building a space learning platform which is called Spacewise, and I have a very tight deadline because this is also a school project. So every single day I'm struggling with overwhelmed and negative feelings, and every single day I'm trying to figure out a way to turn that overwhelm into progress as quickly as possible. So you might find some value in this video, and of course I don't know much, I'm not an expert in these kinds of things, but I'm experimenting a lot and I want to share some insights with you. By the way, this is the website, this is nothing else. The desktop app still has to be developed and I still have to do it. So over the next few days I will also be showing a lot of this. Let's go. So let me give you a bit of context of how I felt overwhelmed. Usually, or almost always, I get really overwhelmed, I get really anxious, I get flooded with emotions when I'm executing a task. So I probably have really high expectations, I probably want to make it perfect, and then there's many other things that I'm worrying about. So I get really overwhelmed and flooded with emotions, as I said. That stops me from making progress on the task and on my goals, and that gives me more anxiety, and I enter this loop that I can't get out of until I became aware of it, and I created this system of detachment. It's not actually a system, it's just something that works for me. So it's just very simple. Stop. Stop whatever I'm doing. Whenever I feel this flooding of emotions, this overwhelm, I stop. It doesn't matter what. And of course, I'm not perfect with this. I sometimes don't stop. It is a part of life to make mistakes, and yeah, I'm not perfect. But when I do it, it feels so good because I can get out of this and take a big picture view. Now, step 1 is the hardest one most of the time. Then, step 2, detach. Detach from my emotions, detach from my task, detach from my ego. I learned this from Navy SEAL Jocko Willing. I think that's his name. Sorry if I butchered it. But I will detach from my emotions. I will detach from what I'm doing right now. I will detach from my ego. So I will just take myself out of this situation. Look at the big picture. Take a step back. And after I do this, after I do step 2, oh my god, bro, stuff gets so much easier. I calm down. I'm not getting so flooded anymore. I can see things a bit more clearly. I get an objective perspective, a logical perspective. I remove every emotion, and it actually works for me. And then what I do to turn all of this emotion into something productive, I note down the observations and facts of the situation. I'm going to give you an example of how I follow this process in a second, but now I'm going to keep explaining this. So I'm going to note down the observations and facts of the situation. This is just explaining logically, step by step, what is going on. What am I feeling? Just observations. And then step 4, find the best logical action step based on the observations and facts that I got and that I wrote down. Important to write them down, to have it all listed. Then I will define what is the best thing that I can do right now. Without emotion, without some ego thing, just what is the best step that I can take. And here I can apply something that I also learned from Jocko, which is iterative decision making. What is the smallest thing you can do to go into the direction that you want to go, towards your goal? You might not know the path exactly, but what is the smallest step that I can take? Let me give you an example of how I use this system. Okay, so this is an example that happened 2 days ago, and I wasn't making progress, the progress that I wanted. I was very overwhelmed by emotions, and the thing that I did was just follow the process. So after detaching from emotions, ego, and the task that I have to do, I can observe that right now I'm feeling many emotions. Here I put the emotions and I state the facts. Here I can observe. This is a very good thing that helps me a lot to be objective and logical. I can observe. That means inherently that I'm looking from above. At least that's what I perceive it. Okay, now this next paragraph is not that objective and logical. As you see, I don't follow this process perfectly. Like, I'm not completely like it has to be perfect. I need to follow it perfectly, because not following it perfectly leads to experimentation. So imperfection leads to experimentation, leads to creativity. That is really good, because I could find something that could improve the system as well. But let's continue with the example. So here I was a bit more objective. I can observe the current situation, and I see that I have many things that I still want to do, and I can see that I also want to make progress on space-wise, and I also want to get it done faster, because I want to sleep at least 4 hours and wake up early tomorrow. I need to record now. So there's many things that I want to do, and I'm overwhelmed by all of these tasks. So then, after noting down the things that I do, I need to get this feeling that, okay, I'm good, I have noted down everything that I wanted to note down. Now I'm gonna create some action steps. And as you see, there's some good action steps here. So here I identified some problems and some things that were leading to overwhelm. And here I tried to create the solutions to those problems. And these are experiments, these are hypotheses of things that I could do. It's also kind of like a plan, because I set the tasks here that I want to do in sequence. I could do this first, and then this, and then this, and this will probably help me make progress on my goals and also not get overwhelmed. And this helped me so much, because it prevented me from wasting more time. I could have been in this state for 8 hours working, but I was in it for an hour and a half or an hour. And it's still a lot, but it's much better. And the more I use this and the more I detach, the faster I'm gonna do it, which is really good. Now, one time when I followed this system, I decided that I wanted to remove the overwhelm. I wanted to get clear about what do I actually want with my systems. And then I followed the system of systems, which I have talked about it on yesterday's video about this, but I'll give you a brief overview, which is that first I define the goal and the outcome of the system, then I define the components, and then I do some kind of brain dump to try to figure out what is the first step, what is the start of the system, what is the end of the system, and what are the steps in between, and then synthesization, which is just taking the insights that I've gotten from this reflection and this just brain dump of ideas, and I synthesize it into a step-by-step process, which is the system. And after I follow this process, it's not the perfect system, it's just a hypothesis, it's just a thing that I can build upon, Could be completely wrong, I don't care. It's just a base, something that my mind can look at and analyze objectively. It's not some vague thing that's in my mind running around, and sometimes I remember it, sometimes I don't, it's not clear, I have it written down. Now, but specifically the thing that I did was note down the components and then process those components. What do I mean by processing? Well, in this case, I actually created a mind map. Now, is creating a mind map with arrows all over the place and stuff like that useful? Obviously not. But the process of creating this mind map, the thinking that's required to do this, that is what actually improves my understanding of the system and gives me more clarity and allows me to process the components. And after processing the components, my mind got really clearer about how each system relates to each other, why each system is important, why each component is important actually. The similarities and differences between components. This is high order thinking. Okay, so here I defined the list of the components. Then I literally did this. I set a list like this, and then the first thing that I did after that was grouping. I tried to group the keywords. As you see over here, they are already grouped, but the thoughts that I had to group this is really important, because here's where I process the information. I try to think about how are these concepts similar? What are the similarities and differences between the concepts? Why is focus points or marginal gains important? What is this keyword related to? Is this keyword related to this keyword? Is this keyword related to this keyword? If they are really related, then I put them on the same group. And only after I have made all of the groups, I label them. And I try to label them with really simple words that I can intuitively understand really easily. Then and this process of labeling is also important, because it helps me to simplify information, to summarize it. You see, I'm summarizing this whole meaning, all of these keywords, into a simple 3 or 2 word definition. That is also something that helps processing and learning. And then the thing that I do next is also something that helps, because I put the main groups here and I try to think of how are these connected? How can I create a flow? How can I create something that makes logical sense to me? And in this case, the planning systems. I do the planning systems first to plan the work tasks, and then I go towards the on-the-fly systems, which are the systems that I do when I'm executing a work task. Then 1% gains creation. This is after I do a work task and I reflect on it. And then systems optimization. This is kind of similar because after I create the insights, I can optimize the systems that I have already defined, the base, the hypothesis that I already have in a text document. For example, here in Obsidian, I've got this, something like this. Really simple, nothing crazy, just text and bullet points and stuff like that. I can look at it and I can improve it. And after I create the main structure, I put the systems there. And now I have another thing that I can see clearly, the big picture, easily. Now, any keyword that I add will fit in one of these groups. And if it doesn't, there's no problem. I can rearrange the whole mind map. And that is something that you might think, bro, that takes so much effort, that is so annoying. Maybe you could say that. But that effort is the thing that improves learning. That is what I learned. Don't listen to me, but that is what I learned from studying and being part of a program of learning science, learning how to learn. It's called I Can Study by Justin Song. So I really recommend it, by the way. Really, really, really good. Okay, and this was the value that I promised. I think I didn't forget anything. And now I'm gonna move to part 2 of this video, which is just, well, I've already explained it. So, oh yeah, let's go. I'll see you in a second. So right now I just cooked again. Yeah, no, again, no, it's really okay. So right now I just cooked my meal. So here we've got chicken breast, which was cooked in butter, onions, tomatoes, and a little bit of olive oil. And of course I have an avocado here. So there's many proteins, a lot of fat, and maybe it doesn't look very appealing, but I love it. It's really nice. Here we have some peanuts and some onions and some coffee, because I've slept for 2 hours. Then we've got some salt. And lastly, for dinner, we've got eggs. 12 eggs for dinner. And yeah, we'll see. So I'm gonna get this done and I'm gonna go back to school now. Let's go. Oh, what's up? So I came back from school and bro, I have so many thoughts right now. So many thoughts, so many feelings, so many emotions. I'm getting so distracted with my own thoughts. So today it was the day of the thing where I had to speak in front of like many people, maybe like 200, something like that, and just share my story, share how I have like stuff from immigration, how Portugal has taken me, no, how I felt when I came to Portugal, and why I came here, and stuff like that. And to be honest, I think I killed it. I say this because I made the audience laugh like a couple of times. I also spoke really clearly. I was really calm, and I was sharing my thoughts and my like just articulating everything really nicely. And I was very calm. I was speaking with a deep voice, slowly. It was nice. Like it was nice. I made some good jokes. I showed vulnerability, which is important for connecting, with the people there. But I didn't show it with pity. I showed it confidently, and I think that's nice. What else? Yeah, right now I'm like, I don't want to, but my head is ruminating like crazy over this because I really feel like I did a really good job speaking in front of many people, and I'm getting so distracted, bro. I've been trying to do this script for an hour or so. Not the script, just working on the YouTube system and creating better YouTube videos. Bro, I'm getting so distracted. And also my brain doesn't work very well because there's only 2 hours of sleep. I only slept 2 hours of sleep today. Now the thing is, right, I'm gonna take a coffee, get a coffee, eat. Bro, I don't know how to speak anymore. This is crazy. But my plan is finish this, improve the process that I follow, and create a new process for developing the best YouTube videos I can that achieve these goals or these principles, and record 2 videos, edit both of the videos because I haven't recorded the video from yesterday yet. So that's why I'm putting here video 1 and then video 2. I'm creating this system so that it's easier for me to articulate better my thoughts and explain better my points in my videos so that I can provide more value when I speak. Then there's also the components here, you know, energy, voice tone, voice pitch, voice volume. These are all components of this system that I can work on. And like, these are not all of the components. These are the ones that came to my mind that I could think of from the top of my head. And right now I feel like I wasted so much time in the past, like hour or so. Now it says 3 minutes, but it's actually an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. I haven't done much. I've been just getting so distracted. And what I could have done better would be to just stop, you know? When I see that I'm being really distracted and I'm not getting the output that I want to get, I'm not being productive, I think I should just stop, take a step back, look at the big picture, observe the situation logically, and then create the next actionable step. It's basically what I have here. Where is it? Probably this thing. Yeah. Detach from emotions, detach from the task at hand, detach from your ego completely, detach from your current situation. That's what I needed to do. Don't look at the problem and overcomplicate it. Look at it logically without emotion or attachment. So here the problem would be, if I don't look at it without emotion or attachment, then this would be just I'm trying to create a system. I'm trying to create a process, and I'm trying to create the script kind of, because it says bullet points, for 2 videos that I want to record. Okay, but if I look at the situation objectively and I observe it, I can see that I'm getting really distracted. I also have this anxiety in the back of my mind because I'm spending a lot of time on something that is not urgent right now, and I need to be working on something more important, and I'm allocating too much time to this. And as the time increases that I'm working on this, then my anxiety is going even higher because I need to be working on something else, but I'm working on this. And I keep working on this because I'm trying to focus, but I can't focus because I'm getting distracted by this experience that I had. Because I really feel good about it. My mind is ruminating like crazy over it. But it is what it is. I don't know why, but it is what it is. That is the situation. And if I had done that 40 minutes ago, that would be crazy. Like, the hard part is when I'm focusing on this, it's just to stop. Because it feels bad to stop. It feels like all of this time has gone to waste. Oh yeah, I know what it is. Okay. If I stop, that means that I'm literally saying to myself that I have wasted a lot of time. I'm accepting that. And I mean, I don't want to accept that subconsciously or naturally. I just don't want to accept that I wasted a lot of time. The thing is, not accepting that and not seeing the things for how they are is making me waste even more time. So that is not very good. And yeah, I just needed to follow this process, like not this one, not this one, this one. Just needed to follow this process for a little bit, a while back. It is what it is. Okay, the next thing that I'm gonna do right now is, to be honest, I don't know. I'm gonna get a coffee. I'm gonna get the coffee in my mouth. Then I will. What can I do to fix this thing of getting distracted? I mean, I think I have fixed it already by speaking about it, by getting vulnerable and speaking about what happened. I just need to let go. Just let go. Oh yeah, but then I also thought about how I'm not fulfilling my potential right now. How I'm not speaking to people when I have the self-image that I can speak to people easily. Like that, I have that. But sometimes I'm not giving myself that push, It's that push of getting out of my comfort zone. It's that push where my body is trembling and my body is so like anxious. The problem is that my mind is calm. I know I'm calm, but my body is crazy. My body is not calm at all. And I need to force myself to breathe deeply, because if not, I'm just gonna breathe like a shallow person. Not a shallow person. I'm just gonna breathe shallowly, and that is not good for speaking, for being calm. And that's what happened today when I was waiting to speak, like before the event. I was calm. I knew that I was going to speak just chilling. It was gonna go well. I knew that, but my body was so nervous. My body was having stress, let's say, and it's strange because I am calm in my mind, but I don't know, something to think about. Okay, so it's 8 p.m. right now, and I should be recording already. I should have recorded everything already. It is what it is. There's also something blocking me right now. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to do this, but I feel a block. I feel a big block when I'm trying to do this, and that is slowing me down like crazy as well. That making me waste more time, making me not be productive. So that is something that I could use the black box analysis system, which I haven't defined yet, but I could analyze this part or this block, and create an experiment or create a hypothesis on how I could remove this mental block and what is going on, But that takes more time, and I do not know. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, okay, the next step. Fuck it, the next step. Get coffee, chuck it in, and do a mini reflection for like 10 minutes, where I do this. I look at the situation objectively, I detach from everything, and then I create the next actionable step that I can do, and then, well, we'll see. But this has basically been the part of the video where I talk about my thoughts and about what life has been offering me today, and that is it. Yep. Maybe the next clip you'll see from me, I mean, first the time lapse of me working, but then it would be just dinner, I think. Or maybe I record between dinner and right now to share my thoughts more. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna get the coffee right now. So see you in a second. Let's go. Let me do a quick reflection on what I did well when I was speaking publicly, when I was public speaking. So before I spoke, before even the event, I was paying a lot of attention to my breathing all the time. Like my breathing and my belly. Really important one. I just did boxed breathing. I inhaled 4 seconds. For 4 seconds, I stopped. Then I exhaled. Then I stopped. Then I inhaled. 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. I did that all the time. I focused on keeping my belly out because that, like, relaxed. Just keep my belly relaxed, even if it bulges. I don't care. And then what I did also was focus on speaking from diaphragm, speaking slowly, thinking before I speak. So being okay with silence and just thinking for a couple of seconds. Then what else? When the other people were speaking, I tried to listen to them. I tried to understand what they were saying. I wasn't inside my head. I wasn't thinking about what am I gonna say next. I was just thinking about what they were saying and trying to understand them. Because it was not only me, it was like a couple of colleagues as well. So I tried to focus on what they were saying, as I said. That is really important. And then when it was my turn to speak, I just spoke clearly. Man, it felt so natural. Wow. And what else? That is the main key points, key takeaways that I can take. The good thing is that I learned from my experiences. So a couple of days ago, I had another opportunity to speak publicly, and I took it. I spoke, and it didn't go really well. But then today I learned. I doubled down on the things that would help me, that I thought would help me, and things that are recommended by public speakers, like breathing deeply and speaking slowly from the diaphragm, like stuff like that. My body language, I also paid a little bit of attention to that. I had this hand, like posture, I don't know, yeah. I sat down with good posture, relaxed, like this, just relaxed, laid back, and my breathing deeply, my belly bulging in front of so many people. I don't care, to be honest. That shows confidence. That is basically the main things. And I wanted to reflect over this because I think it's important towards improving in my public speaking skills, and also in not ruminating over this experience again. I mean, I've learned my lessons. Okay, perfect. Let's move on. Let's let go. Now I'm gonna get the coffee. This is the value you're gonna get from this video. So we have the part 1. Okay, no, not part 1. Okay, this is the exact value you're gonna get from this video. I'm gonna show you how it's... This is the exact value you're gonna get from this video. So I'm gonna show you how it's... Oh, fucking hell. Okay, this is the exact value Okay. This is the exact value you're gonna get from this video. So I'm gonna show you how is... Okay, I'm gonna give you a better example right now. Oh, fuck. The bind...